Thank you for your Belize Zoo Jaguar adoption. We're excited to introduce you to Chiqui, a very special Jaguar at the Belize Zoo. Your donation to the Belize Zoo helps support Chiqui and Jaguar conservation in Belize.
So Chiqui is a relatively young female jaguar. We've met a bunch of males so far, but Chiqui is one of the few female jags that lives at the zoo. She's going to be turning 6 this coming May, and she actually was rescued from the Chiqui Bull Forest, that name might ring a bell for you. That's where the macaws have their stronghold. I've talked a lot about the protected areas work that happens out there. Chiqui was actually found by the rangers. They were on patrol near a hydroelectric dam reservoir behind the dam, and they heard this animal splashing and screeching in the dam, and they ran over to the water edge and saw this baby jaguar treading water, barely alive, about to sink. So they fished her out, found her underweight, very weak. They kept her in that immediate area for a few days, hoping that the mom would come around, especially when she heard the baby's cries. Mom didn't come around, so they eventually transferred her to a wildlife clinic and eventually to the zoo for long-term care. Young jaguar, most mammals, especially ones that are solitary, don't have a social group to rely on, need those critical first months, even first 2 years in the case of tapirs and other large mammals, learning from mom what to hunt, how to hide, how to avoid threats. And so a baby that's been around people for so long would not be a good candidate to release back into the wild, which is why she was brought here to the zoo. So Chiqui is a magnificent representation of the survival of her species. And also, it's a good insight into the psychology of animals. We've noted, very sadly, that even though jaguars love to swim, they even hunt in the water, Chiqui's nice big pond is very rarely used. She mostly uses it to go and drink from and sit near, but she rarely, if ever, goes into the water. And we strongly suspect that's a residual trauma from almost drowning in a large body of water. So even though she's a big girl and she can hold her own, water's not her thing. She prefers dry land or being up in the trees as far away from it as possible. Right, Chiqui? She's a good girl. You want one more treat? Can you roll? Chiqui, can you roll? You have an audience now. Can you roll, sweetheart? Good girl. High five? High five or high 10? There we go. Good girl. Good girl, Chiqui. Good girl.
As she grew older at the Belize Zoo, Chiqui began training as an animal ambassador. Her role is to act as a face for the Belize Zoo's Jaguar program, teaching zoo visitors all about her story, her species, and wildlife conservation.
So Chiqui was rescued so she's like right to the back hiding. I don't know if you guys can see her right there. She's stalking us. So Chiqui was rescued from the Chiqui Bull Forest Reserve. So that's how she got that name. She is about 6 years old now. When Chiqui came, she was cub. She still had we had to battle feed her because she was very small. So she was rescued by forest rangers up in the Chiqui Bull Forest Reserve. When she came, she was about 8 weeks old. Chiqui. So she was about 8 weeks old when she came. So we still had the chance to battle feed this girl right here. She goes.
Thank you for your support of Chiqui and the Belize Zoo. For more information, visit us at inspireadventures.com or the Belize Zoo at belizezoo.org.